Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison King.
It's so good to be back. I was gone last week, a trip to Florida for my son's tournament.
Yes.
And we don't fly. We drive, which is, my husband loves to drive. I don't ever really drive. We stop at all the Buc-ee's on the way.
I love it. Those places stress me out.
It does, but the brisket sandwich is worth it.
Oh, I did have the brisket sandwich.
It's
It is
worth it.
very good. It is. But they are so crowded and,
Yeah.
whoa. I mean, it's kind of like the state fair, but on the side of the highway.
Yes, one of my kids cannot go in. He's
Just-
like, just get me something. You
Yeah.
know what I want.
Yeah.
But then my dad moved somewhere new. And so one of the days, my husband and our son and his friends stayed at the resort, and I drove to go see my dad. And it's so funny because my husband contests that I have something on my GPS that says, let's take the long scenic route. I can't find the button that takes off the long scenic route.
But you always go that. I mean, it just always works out that way.
Because the way home, it's like, oh, it's a direct route. I'm like, why didn't you give me this on the way there?
Weird.
Right? But I did see an alligator, Florida, with, you know how we have like deer roadkill, alligator roadkill in the middle of the road.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that.
I know. And I'm from Florida, and
You've never seen it?
maybe
I'm sure
once
most
or
people
twice.
try not to hit the alligator if there is one in the road.
Yeah, this was probably
'Cause
like
it
a
would-
4-footer.
Messed up your car. And deer move a lot faster than alligators.
Right?
You know, like I can see why people hit deer because they jump out in front. Alligators don't really jump out in front of your car.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. Maybe
They
it
were
was
on their
dark.
phone.
Or, yeah.
They weren't paying attention.
So if you know where that little button is
Anyway.
in your like Google Maps, the scenic route button, tell me where that is so I can turn it
Turn it off.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, speaking of maps,
Speaking of maps.
I've been doing this book that a friend of mine told me about called The Artist Way.
The Artist Way.
Yes. And you should just look up the book. Anyway, it's really interesting. But there's this one particular chapter or week where she's talking about anger. And she describes it as a map. She says, anger is a map. And I just want to read like a short paragraph of what she says. She says, anger is meant to be listened to. Anger is a voice. It's a shout, a plea, a demand. We shouldn't stuff, deny, bury, block, hide, or lie about our anger. It's meant to be a map, showing us what our boundaries are, where we want to go, where we've been, and what we haven't liked. Anger is meant to be acted upon, not acted out. With a little thought, we can usually translate the message our anger is sending us. Anger should be a tool, not our master. This all resonated with me.
So for me, I'm a little offended by anger should not be acted out.
I knew you would be.
Like, pre-Jesus Melissa did a lot of acting out with her anger.
And I mean, I think we're all probably still guilty of that.
Yeah.
Yes. Like me when I told that lady that was trying to tell me how to walk or not walk my dog,
Oh.
that I was a grown AWS woman and I could figure it out without her help.
Oh gosh.
That wasn't very nice.
It wasn't, but I also.
But still, mind your business.
Did she say somewhere in her many, many words that anger helps you keep other people in line? Like, is that?
I wish.
Oh.
Yeah, shoot a pig. It's not.
Shoot a pig. I have not heard a Southern like drawl or. Do you remember in the beginning you had so many Southern? Like,
I know, it's so true. What happened to
Southernisms.
them?
I don't know, but shoot a pig is good.
It is. Yeah, I haven't used that one in a long time.
Shoot a pig.
Going back to my roots, I guess.
I love it. All
You
right.
never know what's going to happen now. Well, I just loved that she described it as a map. And I wanted to dig deeper into that, of course, because y'all know that's how I roll. So I decided to sit down with the Lord and just really kind of think about anger. I've also been through many journeys
Yeah.
through anger in my life with different things. A lot of it has been through grief because I'm not sure if you know, but grief one of the many stages of grief is anger.
Maybe I'm just stuck in one stage, kind of
Yeah.
like Groundhog Day, but mine is just anger.
You haven't gotten out of that. Just, I'm going to live in that.
Yeah.
I'm going to live right here. Well, because, in the Bible and as Christians, we're often taught like, forgive, don't be angry, don't lash out. Like anger, people can think anger is a sin, but anger itself is not a sin. All right. So the question is, it's what we do out of anger that usually the sin. But
yes, I have witnessed that and experienced that, and perhaps have done that firsthand.
yeah, I mean, me never.
Yeah.
So I thought, why do we so often suppress anger and just quickly repent? Like, oh gosh, I shouldn't be angry about that. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, person, whatever. I mean, both God and Jesus expressed anger in scripture.
Yes.
So I think like the question shouldn't be like, why am I angry? Am I angry? It should be, as this lady's kind of saying, like, figure out the map. What is my anger revealing to me, and where is it inviting me to go?
I mean, we could always ask, does this anger call me to smite somebody or to flip a table?
Yeah. Or that.
Or that. Okay.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, but I do like it's inviting you somewhere.
I do. I love that idea but if we dismiss it and deny it, then we're going to shut it down. We won't have a map. We'll ignore it. We'll get lost. We'll get stuck somewhere. Honestly, that's what happens. We get stuck in an emotion, or almost like time has frozen, and we get stuck there emotionally and spiritually and mentally if we try to avoid it. So we really need to follow the map. We really need to see what it's inviting us into. So I thought about anger. I've talked with Dr. Clark a lot about anger. Interestingly enough, even after I had journaled this came up again.
Anger?
Uh-huh.
You had an angry week, huh?
I did.
Dang.
I did.
You were living your best Melissa life.
Anger and grief is good, apparently. That's what he kept. I'm like, should I get that tattooed, like, on my body somewhere? He's like, no, not what I'm saying.
You're missing the point, Allison.
Yeah. Well, first thing about anger is anger points to what we love. When we become angry, it's because something that we value feels threatened. Now, sometimes that value is good, like truth or justice, protection, love, faithfulness, all that good stuff. But sometimes the value underneath the anger is not so great. It's control, comfort, reputation, expectations, pride of being right. So I think one of our first questions when we get angry should be, what am I protecting? Not who made me angry, but what in me feels threatened.
I like that one. What in me feels threatened.
Yeah. Because it's usually something that we care about and value or love. And again, it could be something great like justice and faithfulness, or it could be comfort and control.
Yeah.
So, both are good to recognize and realize. But anger often guards another emotion.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
It's just like the showy part. Like, that's why it's a part of grief. Because it's always covering up another emotion. And a lot of counselors even call it a secondary emotion.
They call anger a secondary emotion?
Because it's always it's like a Halloween costume is how I describe it. There's always something else underneath the anger.
Interesting.
Yeah. So underneath the anger is usually grief, big one, fear, disappointment, shame, loneliness, helplessness, these things. I mean, another good question is, if my anger could speak honestly right now, what sorrow would it reveal? Because Jesus, His was often out of sorrow,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I
Yes.
mean, cleansing the temple. His anger flowed from a love of his father, and a sorrow that the temple had gone to, you know what?
Yeah. I think anger is a trap
Mm-hmm.
because if you can just get angry,
Mm-hmm.
then you will probably dump emotionally,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you will move on.
Mm.
It's a trap of the enemy because if you,
Like that.
especially if you can act out in it, right? If you blow up, you're so focused on the blow up that you now are not going to dig any deeper
Right.
with yourself.
That's right. You're so focused on that, and then we project onto the other person. Well,
Mhm.
they just made me so mad.
Right. So you'll
And so
never,
it's not about us anymore. We're not paying attention to the invitation or the map anymore. We're just blaming somebody
right?
else. Well, James, I love the book of James. But it's so convicting. James 4:1 says, "What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you?"
Ooh.
And James isn't condemning emotion here. He's also inviting us to notice that conflict often exposes these deeper desires, passions within us. Sometimes it's like anger says, I wanted something so badly that I can't even imagine peace without it.
Hmm.
And that's worth exploring,
Yes.
right?
For
In
sure.
our little hearts. So there's some others, like Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. It said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxious thoughts, and see if there's any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." So David doesn't ask God to remove the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I do ask that sometimes.
You
Can you just
ask
take
him
this away?
to remove your anger?
Just whatever. Can you just like, I remember being little and being sad about something and thinking, I just wish that I could have an operation and they would take this part of my brain out and I could put it in a box.
And then take it out when you need it.
Yeah, if I ever need it again, because
Right.
it was just so much work to get through. But what he's asking, instead, David is like, know my heart, know my anxious thoughts. He's actually asking God to do what we're saying. He's asking God to reveal what's underneath his emotion. Instead of saying, take my anger away, he's saying, show me what my anger is trying to tell me and lead me through it.
That's good.
Yes, it's work.
It is. I will
It's
say that
good.
pre-Jesus anger is more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you're just out on a battlefield chopping people down.
I
You
mean,
like that Old Testament anger.
I do. Like pulling people out of their cars, like offering them a brawl in the middle of the street. That that was fun.
That hopefully this podcast will be helpful.
Can you tell I'm kind of struggling with this whole idea?
Of this, inviting it in and making it like it's about us, each of us. It's about us, not the other person or the situation.
But I also think it has helped that, you and I've talked before. If there is a big emotion, no matter what it is,
Yes.
or reaction, I've learned to pause, but then I think I pause too quick and I don't get angry.
Right.
And I immediately, for lack of a better, I Jesus wash it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yes.
And that has kept me from, you and I discussed offline, that has kept me from really exploring all of the things that I have endured because I've Jesus washed them.
Right. You've globalized your sorrow, your grief,
My experience.
instead of making it personal.
Yes.
Because it feels more approachable. It feels safer.
Oh, it's way easier.
Yeah, for sure. And that is where I think this verse, Ephesians 4, verse 26 and 27 comes in. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. That's often one that people throw at us, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Christian world, and we throw at ourselves and all that sort of thing. First of all, I notice that Paul assumes that we're going to be angry. Okay, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
Like, he's not saying shame on you. He says be angry, but do not sin. So he knows we're going to get angry. I think the invitation is not to deny it, but to steward it. I mean, like, take it in. He's saying when anger comes, don't let it become your master. Feel it, bring it to God, but don't build a house there and camp out in it.
Mm.
You know? I don't know. And I think about that. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's going to take more than a day to figure that thing out.
Yeah.
So let's not get too literal on that.
I do think that I have struggled with anger because, I've always, like, my anger has always come out in physical ways, altercations.
Right.
And so then it's like, well, that you're not supposed to do that. So you can't feel that anger. Right.
Right. Right. Because, well, and that goes to healthy anger ask what needs to be made right instead of who needs to pay for this.
Who needs to pay is pretty fun, but I'll work on what needs to be made right. Was that it? Okay.
Yes, what needs to be. When we're sitting with God, and a few weeks ago we talked about beholding and just like that, sitting with God and listening and beholding Him. But anger becomes less of a weapon and more of a window into our heart, into what we're dealing with, what we have dealt with, what we're working through. And instead of like, who is wrong, we ask Jesus, what are you showing me about my heart?
Mm.
And again, these are not easy questions.
No.
This takes bravery and courage. I've decided that all through scripture, when God says, be strong and courageous, this is the kind of heart, he's talking about heart work.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of strength and a lot of courage to face these things.
And a lot of naps.
Yes, it's exhausting. And so if we talk about, I know we need to starting to get close on time, but let's talk about this map. If we're sitting quietly with God, what does that look like? How do we work through this map? Like placing our anger before Him, not trying to justify our anger or to dismiss it, but just pretend, in fact, pretend like you're holding your anger and then sit it on the table in front of you so that it's part of you. But you've placed it on the table. So it is something that you're talking about. It's not necessarily, I'm talking about me. Maybe that helps sometimes in a conversation, like it removes you from it. Mm-hmm. So you can be more open about it. And you ask, like, what am I grieving? What expectations were unmet here? What am I trying to protect? What does love require of me in this situation? And is this anger flowing from love? Is it fear? Is it wounded pride? And God, where are you in this? And not trying to analyze yourself into some sort of peace. Because I can do that.
Yeah.
I can sit there.
Jesus wash it.
Yeah, that's right. But just let God search your heart and search you with His compassion, not condemnation. I think that's where we quickly go. We quickly go to anger, shame, shouldn't be, dismiss it, whitewash it, forget it.
Yeah.
And we will not follow the map.
Right, for sure, because it's far easier. Mm-hmm. Well, if we don't have to dig into the depths of our souls, it's far easier.
Yeah, and Lamentations 3:40 says, "Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord." Examine, test, return. The destination is not this endless self-examination, right? It's just returning to God. God, here I am with my anger again. Help me sort this out. Open my eyes to what this is. And a map isn't meant to be admired. You don't hang a map on the wall usually. I mean, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's meant to be led somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And think about when you do put a map on the wall. Why do we put a map on the wall? Because it reminds us of a really special place that we've been.
Mm.
It's to remember something important. And that's what I think about. So if our anger leads us to a greater honesty and a fuller return to God's presence, then even this difficult emotion of anger becomes this beautiful, gracious invitation rather than this terrible, sinful burden. It's an invitation.
I also think anger just reminds you that you're alive.
Yeah.
I think the day that, just for your reference, the day that I stopped becoming angry about something, something inside me may have died. And that's not good.
True. And Jesus and God got angry all through scripture.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the emotion that's the sin. It's that if we don't sit with the map, figure out what it is, and we allow it to go into actions where we harm others with word, with deed, that becomes a
Right.
sin.
Unfortunately.
So if you think of, let's, as we close, think about, I love that Lamentations, examine, test, return.
What do you mean by test?
That's what I want to talk about. So if we're examining something, it's observing what's there. What am I feeling? The testing is discerning what is true. Like, what is my anger revealing here? It isn't asking, am I a bad Christian because I'm angry?
Right.
It's not asking that.
Take that off your list.
Take that off. It is like, Lord, what part of this anger belongs to you and what part of it belongs to my flesh? Like where are you in this? That's the testing. And then the returning part is responding to what God reveals to us. It can look like forgiving, moving on in the grief process, speaking some truth, setting a boundary, confessing pride, waiting instead of acting. But it flows like this. What am I feeling? What is the anger revealing? And now what? Those are like the questions.
I love it. And also, good news. God is angry too. So, you know what I mean? You can say, God, did you see that? Yes, he did. And he's angry.
Yes, especially injustice. And I mean, again, anger can be from good things. We can be angry about good things, not just bad things, like we mentioned in the beginning. But it's figuring that out,
right,
that helps us understand the anger and get to behind the Halloween costume.
Right.
Get underneath that and see what is really sitting underneath it so that we know what to do with it next.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something very freeing in this. Again, not easy, but be strong and courageous.
Yeah. Go get angry today.
Yeah. Yes. In a good examine, test, and return way.
Yeah. Please feel that emotion.
Yeah, don't stuff it down because inevitably, where does it end up?
Yeah.
It comes out a swinging when you didn't even know it was coming if you keep stuffing it down.
And then you might come out swinging and then felonies happen. Like, it's just not good.
Exactly. Let's not do it that way. Well, we hope this has given you some insight into anger and maybe you feel a little freedom and a little lightness. And hopefully you can get rid of some of that shame and guilt that you might feel about your anger. Remember, anger and grief is good. Thanks for joining us this week on The Sinner and the Saint.